Bass fishing is the most prominent type of fishing in the West, and is one of the most prominent types of fishing, period. But what if I were to tell you that what you know of as a bass isn't really a bass? Now you may think that sounds crazy, but it is the truth. Today we're delving into exactly what constitutes a species of bass and which fish do not. Now, this is a topic that I know there's already information out there about, but I still find that many fishermen don't know this knowledge, so I want to help fix that. First, before we jump into it, we got to talk about what exactly a true bass is. True bass species are any fish belonging to the family of Maranidae. This fish family includes many popular sport and aquaculture fish. Fish in this family are characterized by having spiny rayed fins, having two distinct dorsal fins, as well as small, simple teeth. This fish family is mostly saltwater, but some of these true bass do live in freshwater or can move between salt to freshwater. Members in this family also share similar diets, being carnivorous. Two of the most notable species in this family are striped bass and white bass, which are popular sport fish. Striped bass in particular are prized for their size and fighting power. These fish have the ability to grow very large, up to 77 pounds. They possess a series of horizontal lines that extend throughout the fish's body, with striped bass usually having a white to silverish base color. They live in saltwater for most of the year, but do traverse closer to freshwater when it comes time for breeding. Next, we have white bass, which do look very similar to striped bass, leading to some confusion. White bass, however, are a freshwater species living in rivers located in the eastern United States and partially in southern Canada. These fish get much smaller than striped bass, with their average size being between 2.5 pounds, although they can get larger. Interestingly, these two species have been noted to be able to hybridize, creating what's called hybrid bass. There are other notable species that are in the true bass family, including white perch, yellow bass, and more. But the main thing to note here is that true bass species must be a member of the Maranidae fish family. So the next time you catch a white or striped bass, just know that is a true bass. Also, let me know if you guys want to see a video on either of these two species. Now that we've gotten what a real bass is out of the way, we got to talk about what fish aren't real bass. You see, bass is just kind of become a generic fish term, being used on tons of species that aren't really bass. In fact, the term bass comes from Middle English, referring to perch, which just adds to the confusion, as none of these fish are in the perch family, Perchidae. Also, many species of fish called sea bass aren't really bass. For example, black sea bass are actually a member of the grouper family, and Chilean sea bass are a member of the cod family. Neither are true bass. So clearly the term sea bass is also thrown out there a lot too. Even many species of freshwater bass are not real bass. Largemouth bass and smallmouth bass are actually members of the sunfish family. So yes, when you are bass fishing, you're actually just doing glorified pan fishing. Either way, these two species are members of the Centrorchidae family, which, like mentioned, is where sunfish reside. This family of fish actually contains quite a few other members of false bass, including rock bass, spotted bass, red-eye bass, and many more. These fish just share many similarities to true bass, which landed them the name bass for simplicity's sake. Like I said, bass has become a layman's term of sorts in the world of fish. And the rabbit hole gets even deeper when you take into account peacock bass, which I recently made a video about, you should check them out, which are actually a species of cichlid. They only got that name because they have a similar body structure to largemouth bass, which also aren't real bass, and I just want to bash my head in the skull and jump off a... All right, so as you can tell, many fish you know of as bass aren't really bass. Anytime you catch a largemouth, smallmouth, or even a rock bass, you should just remember that's actually more of a sunfish rather than a bass. And when you catch a white, yellow, or striped bass, that is actually a true bass. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this frankly confusing video. I hope I didn't lose you. I hope you enjoyed. Check out the Patreon if you did. It helps out the channel a lot, and that's where all the cool kids are going. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Take care.